To him that sits on the throne, to him that sits on the throne, to Yahweh that sits on the throne, be blessings forevermore. Be blessings Worthy is the Lamb. Hallelujah. Yeshua, the precious Lamb. Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the Worthy is the Lamb. Worthy is the
And you feed us to let him the bread of life, Abba Yahweh. To strengthen us, Abba Yahweh. To go on through the battle, Abba Yahweh. To faint not to get weary, Abba Yahweh. To not to give up on this battle, Abba Yahweh. But press, Abba Yahweh. To the mark of the high calling, Abba Yahweh. That we receive that great crown that you have for us, Abba Yahweh. Told you for the Haba, Abba Yahweh. That you have for your nation, Abba Yahweh. That we have no worries, Abba Yahweh. And let the word of the deeper realm go forth to your nation this day, Abba Yahweh. To the ends of your people, Abba Yahweh, it's four corners of the earth, Abba Yahweh. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Hallelujah. Go to travel in the mountain of Yahweh and Yahshua Mashiach. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Precious Shabbat Yahweh, just the Hashemayim. Kadosh is your Hashem. Your Makut to come. Your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, and in the Hashemayim. Give us this day our daily lesson. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Makut, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach. And you will like be us to let them the bread of life, of understanding, Abba Yahweh, of your Torah, Abba Yahweh. It meant the way that you help your people to walk, Abba Yahweh. In the precious mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. For this is YisraYah'ale, the SHABBAT Service of Yahweh our Abba. So let us come into his presence with thanksgiving, with Torah and praise. For we find all in Yahshua HaMashiach. So let us lift our voices today, let us clap our hands and stomp our feet, YisraYah'ale. Unto Yahweh our Abba. Come on, YisraYah'ale. Yeah.
We do want to greet YisraYah'ale. The Davarim, the promises of Yah that stands against every opposition of darkness, our own dark thoughts. That there is a constant battle within the cortex of our minds, doubts, disbelief, distrust. We have not learned how to trust Him. You know how you trust someone? Can I tell you how easy it is? Do you believe it?
Yes.
I do. There was an old proverb in the days of my youth. One would say, just believe what he said. Take him at his words. Because we are so twisted, I am delusional. We don't know integrity and honesty. So we take no one for their word value. You will hear the old ones, I'll take him at his words. He said it, I take it. No, they did not say I take him, but I take him. We take someone at their word. So the expression of their verbiage speaks volume. That's why we need to be quick to hear. Slow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You take them, and that's our problem. That's why we can't believe. Yeah. We're looking for private interpretations that it assaults him and they are insulting to him. We think the folly of our minds. I want to read this one verse. This was just made alive in my bosom before and it all ties in with the teaching. On this birth of this Beth Olah Miriam, whereby all the tenets of our Yahshua, our salvation and truth hinge upon. It doesn't hinge upon the creation in the beginning. It hinges upon that. And if that is a fallacy, if it's false, then let the book be damned. Let it be damned. It's either full and fullness of imams, or it is a twisted proverbial lie that it is insulting to any kind of humankind. I buy the book. I buy everything that the book says. This is our fault. I want to teach us today. I want to quiz us within the cortex of our mind and see if we can answer them. I don't want you to raise your hand. You will know how you answer, all right? But this is one of the greatest problems among the nation is found here. I'm going to read it. You find it. This is a mashal that one of the most intricate points of it was what Shlomo says. He says this. Is one thing that a dog will always do, it will go back to their old ways. As a dog returns unto its pukery. We are people that constantly return to our pukery. We return to our vile, indignant, corrupt attitude. It's all here. This is what Shlomo was saying, the ayat. He was dealing with the ayat. So as a dog returns to its vomit, so does a fool. Fool will always like folly. That's why I say to us often, we ought not to be all the time engaged in laughter and folly and foolishness. Yet there is no exaltation of Yah. You can sit for hours, never mention his name, never discuss him. Everything but truth. I can't sit for 5 minutes without preaching. If anyone has been engaged with me or around me, you will find that to be of substance. A fool will always go back to folly. He has a storehouse of it in his ayah. Then he says this, Shlomo, I want you to understand, see thou, I want you to comprehend a man or a woman. He said they are wise, or they are endowed with wisdom and understanding. They are wise in their own conceits, in their own ayah. They think they're wise. They think they're smart. I don't mess with fools. When I realize someone is foolish, I don't waste my time with them. They're wise in their own ayah, and that's what the word conceit means. They have developed their own construct of laws. They don't give a damn about Yah. And if they don't care about him, they can't give a damn about themselves. They care for no one. They put on this false front that they care. You find someone of that nature that are wise. I'm prefacing this because I want to teach, because this generation thinks it is wise. I'm going to ask, that's all a question. And I want to see how you allow the thought to develop in your mind. That's why we must allow the mind that is this Torah, was developed by it. We must let this ayah be in us nation. And so you have this conceit that you read an article, you're wise, you're smart, you know everything. You pick up the opinion of someone. I took a class many years back, online. The class was about understanding the construct of one's belief and how one dictate their speech or the order of things that they want to convince you. And the first thing that the teacher said, first of all, you take what one says to be actual and truth. You have not spent the time to develop a consciousness of that matter, but already you know. He said the first priority of business is, who is that man, the woman? Do you know them? Is there any history on them? Do you understand their belief system? The man that gave the class, he was an architect, left New York. He was living in Puerto Rico. Very bright man he was. He didn't play. I liked him. I really did. So how can you give validity to anything, or to the substance of any verbiage that one speaks without knowing? You see, we give no substance to what Yah speaks because we don't know him. We don't know him. Man says he knows Yada, YHWH, and he does not Shema. God, with his integrity, his mitzvot, is a liar. No truth in him. Period. There are women that would do things for husbands. There are husbands that would do things for a wife. There are mothers that would do things for children. Their children. But it's not real. We like to deal with the ultimate reality. We don't want to deal with truth of that reality. From a dog, I'm a dog. From a liar, I am a flat-out dirty liar. If I'm simple and ignorant of matters, I have no compunction with confessing that. It's your own conceit. I'm laying this foundation because we're going to continue on the birth. You have nothing without that birth. You have this violent attack against it that's ramping up everywhere, especially among those that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. And I defy all the devils of hell. This book is not worth a damn if the validity of that can be reasoned within one's mind and they can give you an answer. All the answers I will give you today from the book. And because we don't love him, we flat out don't give a damn. We got time for everything but him. Something is wrong. You got time for everything but him. Time to lie, to eat. Time to act like a jackass or a clown. I've never been one to play and laugh a lot. Not that I don't like laughter, I love it at its appropriate time. I've never been that way. Never. This is what Shlomo says. See thou a man, if you see a man that is wise in his own ayin, I know I'm smart. Well, I don't want to be smart. I want to be willing and obedient, so I may eat the fat of Yah's riches. He said, there is more bigdar, there is more favor, there is more acceptance of Yah, there is more tikva of a fool, an ever, than that, because that one is beyond a fool. Now, I didn't write this. Shlomo was a wise man. Yah put this. These words were not of the cavity here. Shlomo's construct. Man with 1,000 women he worked. He wasn't happy with that. Something is wrong with Shlomo. So what you want to? And he was speaking personally of himself. Yah had given him wisdom beyond wisdom. Yet he's going to allow his wisdom to intersect and dissect the wisdom of Yah. That's the problem, fools. They're trying to dissect this birth that is so profound and astonishing. When you look up, is the heavens astonishing? Look how you try to figure it out. You can't figure it out. This is the purity of this stupid mind of conceits, that one will challenge Yah in their own ignorance. Yah, I take you at your words. I take your words. I believe it. I will buy it. I will not falter from it for no one. For no one at all, Yah. So we have this, one of the most violent, reprehensible, it ought to be hated lies that have sprung up out of the gut and the belly of this violent whore that calls herself Hebrew Israelites. Their women dress worse like whores than the Christian women. At least those that identify with Christianity, they will hide their sins. These devils hide nothing. I'm not afraid of them. The only thing they can do to me is what Yah permits. I'm not worried about them, none of them. We must stand for truth. We cannot be hoodwinked. Someone give you one verse and you try to dialogue and that you're ignorant. You don't even know the meaning or the substance of the words. You have no cogent understanding of what that says based upon what that said. You must examine the volume. You think you're nice because you did something one time nice, that makes you nice. But look at the volume of your wicked, dirty, filthy ways. You can practice any kind of wrong, there's wrong in you. If you can practice any kind of devilish, damnable, wicked, stupid, immature ways, it's in you. I shall, my friend, and take my time to finish up. And I want this to be a solid piece of bread that I must move on. So when I return, or one of the Achim return, then you will have the bread still in us. I want to re-examine one verse and then I want to ask us a question. Meditiyah chapter 1 verse 19. It says, then Yosef, he was a just, dichayos. He was a sadiq, dichayos. He was a man whereby his mind had been permeated with the knowledge of Torah. He was a disciplined student of Torah. He kept his vows unto Yah. He did not speak a word and then try to retract it. Whatever we vow unto Yah, we keep it. That's why man, woman commit a vow unto each other. And that is to stand by that vow with integrity, honor, and honesty. He was a just man. He had the purity of judgment. He would judge himself. He needed no one else to judge him. We don't judge our nasty, dirty ways. We will cast them off on others, but we don't judge our damnable, dirty, lying, filthy, evil, sadistic ways. I'm not talking about someone else, I'm talking about you. We have this conceit in our minds. You're going to die a fool just like that. Pretending. You can go to hell. I will not sit here pretending. I will do my thing. I'm going to die. Let me die. I'm not going to sit here pretending. He was a just man. His life, the actions, the deeds, they were formulated here by his studiousness. He was a student of Torah. He guarded it. So the way our lives are going to be shaped, formed, obedience unto what he commands us. It was not his pleasure to make Miriam a public spectacle, or they were going to kill her. They were going to stone her. And the Torah commanded that because Yah commanded that. But he knew the breadth of Yah's forgiveness and his favor because he knew his sins. See, only a conceited individual, as I said to my I said to us last week, She reminded me of the place that they were passing that after shopping on past Thursday. She said, that's the place right there. But he didn't know anything. He had pains he didn't know how to express. He didn't know how to share that with no one. He didn't know how to open up, and those that he perceived he could open up to, their knowledge of matters were of no use for him. And the guilt, above all, his wicked ways. I liked her, Daddy. I told him I will put you in the ground, you and your sons. I will whip all of you together. I mean that. But I liked her, Daddy. No, we did not fellowship together. And I still liked your father. I liked him. He appreciated me for being his son-in-law, to marry his daughter. He appreciated that. I know that for a fact. So he was not minded. He was not full of mind. He was not conceited. His mind had been shaped and formed by the truth of the rights of Yah. There was no willingness of deliberation that killed this dirty slut. She was found with child. Her reputation was Spartan. No one could say that Miriam was a slutty little slut. She was shamefaced. He did not want to apologize, to separate from her, put her away, send her away in great shame. She died that death of just cause, because Yah had commanded it. Yes. He had to have more than the strength of a virtuous man. He had to have the pleasure of Yah's will permeating in him, because he thought about all the evil and the things he had done that nobody knew but Yah. He had thought about that. He wanted to put her away in la wrath, secretly. Yes. He didn't want his friends to know. Maybe I moved beyond the station to Hebron, anywhere, but let me get out of here. I don't want the shame to be upon my parents and upon me. And he was in the throes of that great agony of pain. How do I weather this young? I don't even know how to come from under this burden. It is perplexing. It weighs on my mind. I don't know what to do, Yah. And so Yah calls him to rest. You call Mama. Turn. How many air conditioners you know? Okay. He was perplexed. And so Yah says, just sleep a while. Take your rest in the comfort of Torah. Just sleep a while. He was willing to put her away. Yet in the midst of that dream, that sleep, YisraYah'ale, the Melach of Yah and YHWH that guarded that special message. They watched over him with a legion of Melechim, masters of war, rulers of the kingdom powers. And there was a resolution. I wrote that to ask us questions. You cannot examine this birth by our own conceits, and think that you have the knowledge of what transpired, whether it is believable, the hopes, false. That's the way we deal in those general terms. We don't deal in reality. We deal in the falsehood of our own lives. You like something someone says, you receive that. You don't like what someone says, then you object. It alters your emotions. I'll show an example. She says to me this morning, look at that nose. So I flared it open. I said, I wish it was like that. Why? She said, look at your nostrils, the holes. I said, what do you think? I want them to be the size of a pencil. I like these big noses. I said, I got a beautiful big round nose. I didn't say handsome. So my big nose is beautiful. I love it. Look at it. I said, doesn't it look beautiful, more beautiful if it was flared like that, the holes bigger? She said, your nose holes are disgusting. I said, I don't want no little pinpoint nose. I like my big fat nose. I love it. I said, I want to consume it. Those that would say that's one or the other, they get crazy. Should the one look for things to pinpoint against the other? I have no problem with my nose. I love my big fat nose. I love it. I love it. I love it. There are people that are ashamed of their noses. It's so stupid. You got the nose, you're going to have to wear it until you die. Enjoy. Enjoy. So was I offended? No. I stood up for my nose. I like my fat nose, and I like my nostril. I like the holes being big like that. I love it. I said, now how about that? Yah speaks nothing but truth. I can't put away nothing that he has put on me. You cannot put away and reject what Yah says. How do we explain that? Can you explain this? Can you explain the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach? You see, your conceit would tell someone you know how to explain it. So you will go through all kinds of foolishness and situations to convince the one that you're talking to because you know their ignorance. I want to show you how and why you can't explain nothing in this book. I will ask you all a question. One question. Who in here can tell me the composition or the material construct of light? Who can tell me that? No, I'm not a wise man of conceits. I examine things. Because it says one thing here in the Torah. Yah says this. I want you to explain it. I want to show you something. Then I'm going to conclude with this birth that is so phenomenal, it's beyond explaining. You know it and you live it. You believe it by astonishing features of what Yah has allowed your eyes to visually perceive and see. I know I can see 93 million miles. I can see the sun. I know that. I can see from here, even on flat ground, a plane. From here to page, none of us. But I know I can see 93 million. I know I can see 93 million miles away. No. This is what Yah says. Bereshit 1:3. And Yah says, let there be light. Let there be or. Let there be ma'or. There was light. Those same devils, Hebrew Israelites, the Aryan nations of those that love their Jesus Christ, they would tell you that the sun, the moon, and the stars were made before the fourth day. That's a lie. So when he said, let there be light, that's a lie. How do you know that? Because you can't explain things by your foolishness and your immaturity. I'm going to explain this in the way to prove you can explain the birth. Yeah. But by Torah, the prophecies, the wisdom of Torah, you can't. Yeah. So I went online to understand what some of the most profound scientists and their telescopic vision tell you what light is. I want to read this. May I? Yeah. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. I asked the question, what is light? And so I did the general research. And if we can understand light, we can understand the virgin birth. Then look at what some of your most prestigious scientists say. Light is electromagnetic radiation within a certain portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. What in the is electromagnetic? You've defined that. You can go back and remember it. But I understand what it's saying. The word usually refers to visible light, which is the portion of the spectrum that can be perceived by the human eyes. Visible light is usually defined as having wavelengths. So when we see this artificial, their wavelengths. It's not in the spectrum that we see, but there are links and waves of light that it keeps coming and coming and coming. In the range of, you that can figure this next portion out for me, email me and tell me, of 400 to 700 nanometers, you don't even know what it is. Yah says, let there be light. That's all he said. He said, Beth Ula shall bring forth a child. Now they explain it like that. How these conceited devils birth out of the belly of hell. That's what they do. Or 4.00 times 10 to the 7th power to the to 7.0 times 10 to the 7th nanometer. Now who knows that? You tell me, in order for me to understand light, I must go to the range of understanding the mathematical formations. That's why these devils and liars today going to tell you how you facilitate the more dim of Yah by doing this and that. They're dirty liars. He did not make it that complex. He didn't bring forth that child to make it complex for us just to marvel at his greatness. And just look at the sun, you can marvel at his great power. Yes. Look at the starlit night above at night. Look at the moon. And you say, I take him at his word. If he made that, if he did that, I take him at his word. We don't take you at his word. You got these semi-illiterate prophets, scholars. Let me go forward. It says this now, concerning the wavelengths and the ultraviolet, which with shorter wavelengths, the wavelengths mean the frequency range of roughly 430 to 750 Transact. What in the... You're a smart man. What in the knickers with the dog fat is a transact? It's only a language to those that operate in that sphere. They're the only one that can comprehend. With us that operate in the promises of Yah, we're the only one that can comprehend that birth that came forth. We're the only one.
Yes.
The main source of light on the earth is the sun. That's a light. Yah says, let there be light. And there was Ma'un. He said, let there be intelligence, wisdom of me fill this place. That's what it is, my friend. It's not the superficial stuff that we call light. Because there was no sun, neither moon, neither a star. He said, let the preeminence of my power, my light, the witness of him that shall come, let it shine. And we can see the folly of man. Let there be light. As we have often heard, Cain, Cain, and Abel. Nobody instructed him to murder. We reject the light, the knowledge, the wisdom, the truth of God. He said, let there be light. And there was light. It shone brightly.
Yes.
It says sunlight provides the energy that green plants use to create sugar, mostly in the form of starches, which release an energy into the living things that digest them. This process of photosynthesis, who knows what photosynthesis is? I remember learning that when I was in my segregated school. Well, who really provides virtually all the energy used by living things? Historically, another important source of light for human has been fire, and ancient campfire to modern kerosene lamps. With the development of electricity and lights and the power system, electric lighting, which is much more effective, replacing firelight, some of the species of animals generate their own light. I believe that because I've seen that. We catch little night bugs. A process that is called bioluminescence. That's what those little bugs that we would catch in. That's what it's called. For example, fireflies use light to locate mates and vampire. Squids use it to hide themselves from prey. The primary properties of the visual lights. Now these are the, Yah said there is, he did not give us the composition. When he said let there be light, he did not give us the chemical composition. He gave us nothing, but he said let there be light. Yes. I was like, I must read this to prove what the Torah says. How we answer things according to Torah. You can't answer them in your conceited ignorance. You can't. Propagating, directing frequency of wavelengths, spectrum, and polarization, which is speed of the vacuum of 299,792,458 meters per second. What in the cats? What is that? What is that to a man that is uneducated like me? What is that? What is that? It is stupidity. Yah said, let there be light. The Nobi of Yah says he's going to raise up one. Yes. That is right. He shall come to the lineage of a woman. Yes. And I'm doing this spectacular thing to show you with all of the things that I've given you to convince you. You don't give a damn, you don't believe. I'm happy to wake up in the morning. I mean that. I'm happy to be alive. I bless Yah that I'm living. I don't wake up with attitudes. I don't wake up with an attitude. I've learned the ways of our own conceit and folly. That's what we rest in our minds as we take that journey of death every night. That's all it is. The dead knoweth nothing. You don't know nothing. You don't know one thing. So he even give us the experience of death. But there's a wave that is much more terrifying than your bad dream. Something trying to get you. I've had them. It's worse than that. And you can't get out. You play all you want to. I must preference this wisdom so we may understand that this birth, you can't even tell me what light is. I trust Yah to tell me. In the book. It says visual light, as with all types of electromagnetic radiation, is experimentally found to always move at the speed in a vacuum. Now what in the lily hillies mess is that? Who's looking to understand that, to perceive that, to have any kind of knowledge of that? It is stupid as one could ever venture. Yes. It's stupid. It's stupid. In physics, the term light sometimes refer to electromagnetic radiation of any wavelength, whether visible or not so. If it's light, then it's visible. Well, not all light is visible. Then if it's not light, it's darkness. Well, there's a different case for that. This is how we have learned. And the stupidity of us will not rely upon the Torah to answer all things. I'm going to answer the virgin birth. I want to show us how ignorant I am trying to explain light when Yah says, let there be light. They're telling us it takes the moon, the sun, the stars. That's a lie. Yah did not say that. He simply said, let there be ma'or. That was the great ore of Yah, the light that brightened, the knowledge of Yah, that even the earth in its mourning and groaning because there was so much darkness. And when the light shone, everything came alive. And that's the way it is with us. Because of the darkness of our sins and our corrupt ways, you wake up to light, you can't just look at it from the darkness of your wicked, dirty ways. You get up in the morning, it's dark. You flip the light switch, you don't want it. Sometimes it will bother your eyes. Because that great flash at that moment. And so when truth is revealed unto us, because of all of our evil, wicked ways, we will respond the same way. That's the way this twisted, damnable generation is. You can't explain light. You can't explain the sun. Yah never told you one formula to the sun's disposition, the chemicals, or even why was it burning like that. He never. And man is so stupid, like we is. He think because he can see beyond the sphere of his visual, and you think that too, that he can tell you the composition of the sun, the gases, and what they all consist of. He knows everything. And if the moon had all this light that we see, and ask us all a question. I remember the moon war. I remember Armstrong and all of them, the three. I remember that. Yet the only transition or the visual for us, we saw nothing but darkness. Now, how is it that this composition of this thing we call the moon is all light? And if you recall, it was all dark. Y'all said, let there be light. We don't understand that, nation, because we've had so many of these superficial individuals. They have no idea about the riches of y'all's Torah. They don't know. And so we buy their folly. We buy it. There are other spectrums to this. I don't want to read that because I want to get involved in the teaching. All right? Yah said, let there be light. Did he not say that? Yes. I want to give us this pattern of thinking. We began to deal with the essence of this birth. They came forth out of Miriam, this one that was birthed by the command of Yah. And there is no, I know what these whorehouses have taught us. There is only one rebirth. Is that when we obey or do what the mitzvot, the commands of Yah commands us. There's a birth and a life of energy that flows from us because of the witness of YHWH HaMashiach. Yes. Nicodemus, can one go back into the Eva's womb the second time? No, that's not what he's saying. That's why we don't understand. That's why we are an illiterate people when it comes to the knowledge of Torah. We're illiterate, we're dumb, we're crazy, we're stupid. You can explain nothing but by the book. You can explain nothing about Yahweh but by the book. He doesn't need your opinion. He doesn't need your speculation. He doesn't need your studious stewardship in the sense you become a scholar. Let the word speak. His word speaks for itself. Let's go back to Bereshit, to Genesis chapter 1. Yah says, let there be light. Isn't that what he says? Genesis 1:3. I want to reference all this nation with this birth, because without the birth there is no salvation. Yes. Without YHWH HaMashiach we have no Yoshak. Right. We're not going to be delivered. That's just a fact. Yes. Let's examine this word L-I-G-H-T, light or. We see this in Bereshit, Genesis 1 and 3. And so you got those that call themselves Hebrew Israelites. They will tell you, in those that are the scholarship wisdom, well, the moon, the sun, and all, they were there. You are a filthy, damnable, twisted liar. There's a judgment that waits on you for your lives. Let's look at Genesis 1, verse 14. Listen carefully how words will actually trick us. He said, let there be light. Did he not say that? Yes. The way he says in Bereshit, Genesis 1:14. And Yah said, let there be lights. L-I-G-H-T-S. Ma'or. Why were the lights? To rejoice at the light. He said, let there be lights, or let there be bodies that are luminous, and bodies that radiate and reflect. When Yah says, let there be lights. And everything about us as a nation should reflect the light of the Ma'or, the rejoicing of His truth in us. You can't be a filthy liar and a phony fake pig. You're up sometimes and down. You're a deceitful pig. I don't care who you are. You're going to be real all the time. You're wrong, say I'm wrong. Never say you're right, he's right. There's nothing right about you. There's nothing kind about you or friendly or loving. Hallelujah. Mothers kill their sons and daughters. Mamas kill their babies And people would say she was a loving mother. She killed all the young'uns, cow. You know, how do you know what love is? She was a loving daughter and hated YisraYah'ale, you lying devil.
Yeah.
She loved her pap and her mama. She didn't love them because she was intimidated to tell them the truth. She didn't give a damn. Y'all care. That's why we know his love. Because he tells us the truth. Y'all should reveal every hidden thing in us. He doesn't spare us. He shows the violence of our conceited ways. We're pretending and wanting to present this visual, and you know damn well within the depth of your being, you're nothing but a wicked dog. He said, let there be lights. Genesis 1:3, he said, let there be lights. Let there be the ambience of the radiance of YHWH HaMashiach. Fill everything.
Hallelujah.
And he said, let there be lights. Verse 14. And he said, let there be lights. Ma'or, the luminaries, the bodies. Then he says, in the expanse. In the expanse, in the volume, in the expanse of the Shemayim. For what reason? He said, I'm going to have a day and a night, and they're there to divide. This was the fourth day, was it not? Sure it was. I want us to understand this. You will never understand the birth of YHWH HaMashiach because you can't explain this. You cannot explain light. You cannot give me a definition of light. It must be expressed by the book. And it is only the book that gives us the radiant values of the elements of light. I don't care what some scientist, one that has scholarship, that has studied the universe, but this is what our master says. Let there be light. When he saw the knowledge of YHWH and the wealth that permeated the soils of the earth, that's what YHWH did. He is the word, he is the Devarim, the promises of Yah. These devils today, you can reject that birth. He said, I want that to divide the night from the day, and there's a semicolon to give us a directive here. And let them be for signs or utha. We know when the sun is going down that the night season is upon us. We know that the moon gives us the signs of the seasons and time. Listen to me, nation. And those that will debate concerning saying that God told us to keep a lunar solar year, that's a lie. And not any of their calculations equal up to 364 days that Hanok talks about. They're either 383 days, 384 days, or 385 days. They're liars. And they will not study the examine or the doctrine, the thesis, the origin. I have 350 pages at home just on that alone that I've studied over the years. And that's the fact. He said, let them divide the day and the night. There shall be a sign, comma, and for season, comma, and for days and for years. That's what they're for. He did not say that when he said, let there be light. He said, let the presence of YHWH fill this place. Let the testimony of YHWH HaMashiach permeate in the heavens. Let the devils that roam and range throughout the spheres of the heaven, let them know that you're going to deal with him. And it won't be very long. That's what he meant, nation. I will prove it out in this book. He did not mean this stuff here that we see, what we call light. It is light. But the light was here before the lights came. There was light before lights came. There was a light of YHWH that resonated in your mind, but you did not know the light of wisdom, the Hukhmah, you didn't know that. Hallelujah. Verse 16. And Yah made two great lights. In Bereshit 1:3 it says, let there be light. And there was light. Let there be light. The earth dark and formless, void of Yah's Torah, Melachim falling from the heavens above and establishing some of the most violent, evil things. And everything we got today is coming from the wavelengths and the airways. We get YouTube. Our cell phones have become damn gods to you, not me.
Yeah.
They become damned gods.
Yes.
We love them more than we love our lives. Pickle fried brain, can't even think.
Yes.
That's not of Yah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's not of Yah. Folks will go crazy. They're already crazy. They will go triple crazy without them. They love that more than they have affection for children, for husband, for wife. They love them things.
True.
They can put that thing and they fall in love with it. Fell in love with my iPhone. Yes, I did. I know all the function, all the keys. I can make it do everything because I love my iPhone. Yeah, but they don't know how to grab the man.
True.
Hallelujah.
Love him. He doesn't know how to grab his wife
Yes.
and make her know that it is real.
Hallelujah.
Fake, bogus boy.
Yes.
That's right.
True.
You will clap your hands back there. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to grab and squeeze and say, come here, girl.
Yeah.
Everything that I want, everything I need, everything that I could ever desire.
Hallelujah.
They don't even know how to do that. It's a sad shame.
Yes, sir.
They don't know how to. No affection, no feel, no touch.
Yes.
No touch. Don't know how to say, give me your lips, girl. I talk like
Yeah.
that. This is my wife.
Yeah.
I know no one but this wife. So I can talk like that.
Hallelujah.
Look like we're three in the bed with me. That's what these damned double twisted Hebrew Israelites
Yes.
bringing the people into that bondage.
Yes.
They're just like the billy goat out here, and just like the ram. And like the bull that his mammy that birthed him, he will ride her and make him a son. As nasty this generation is.
True.
She has no sensitivity with her hand, her fingers that touch. Her touch is a cold and icy.
Yes.
No girl, touch me.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
Hallelujah. True.
He made two great lights. The light, or the great light to rule today. We see it out there. It's a great light.
Yeah.
And the lesser light to rule in the night. And he also gave us the light of the stars. It's all right seeing them stars at night when you're out there in the woods or something like that. That's all right. You can find your way back. No moon or nothing out there at night. It's dark out there.
Yes.
On the dark side, you know, that's dark. Nice to have that little bit of light. And he made those lights in the expanse. And there was light before them. YHWH is before the moon and the sun. He is the composition. It is him, the word of YHWH, the word that he is, that caused the sun to shine and obey the commands of God. You don't know how to explain that. Only this book can explain it. It must come from the book. And that's why I'm trying to show us this correlation. Explain light. Yah said, let there be light. He did not make light. He just said, let there be light. And then he formed the objects of the heavens. That's what he did. No, he didn't have to form Yahshua. He put him in the bottom of that Bethula, that one that had never been touched nor stained by the sin of any man. Yeah. These dogs are telling you, and you buy what these dogs say. You're going to hell right along with them. Yeah. Back down to no one. Yeah. You might as well turn it off if you're looking for someone to appease you. Y'all got a close-up on me on that thing or what? Okay. Can you see with my glasses on? That's fine. It has to be his way. You can't explain the mind of Yah. Yeah. He reveals his mind. He opens up, because if you knew it, you would burst like you would just explode. It's too much. You've never heard someone say, it's just too much. I can't handle all that. You think you can handle all that? You think it's just like that. What is that? The story about the daddy. What does this word mean? And he says to her, carry my suitcase. And she said, Daddy, it's so heavy. And he said, well, baby girl, I'll tell you what you asking me about, that's a little heavy right now. I'll give you that when it's time, though. You're able to carry it. You think y'all would do us like that? This is how dumb we is. Yeah. He will not do us like that. Hallelujah. He make it so simple that even someone is as ignorant as I am can understand. But we must labor to understand. Study. To show thyself approved as a workman, need not to be ashamed, rightly, righteously, straight up your shot, straight up and down. You got to divide it that way. You can't divide it with some kind of intellectual sense. Not at all, nation. It must be done. It must be divided by the book. That's the only way it can be. All right. No other way at all. No other way. Hallelujah. He gave those in the expanse to rule. And then he says to Yachanan, I want you to let them know what I said. Let that be light. What I'm referencing. And Yachanan here in Gilead, Revelation. Revelation chapter 21. Revelation 21 verse 23. Yah made this Olam to be the city of his abode. It was because of the sin of man, his corruption. And that's why they went everywhere over the earth, trying to reach beyond the sphere of their limitation. And that's why you got every kind of dogmatic lie, every kind of religious orientation. You got it all. And they thought they could get away from him and move away from him. It's almost like someone thinking they got move away from their problems. No, you carried your lies and your corruption with you. There must be a change. This is what the Lord saw for us, to remind us, is this the end of the book? And I started that Bereshit at the beginning, did I not? I'll open up at what we call the middle of the book there in Matitiyah, to let us know that as that Melach brought the message from Yah, you must have a host of warriors to bring that message. You can tell me that YisraYah'ale, the master, the power to fight of his milchaya, nothing is going to interfere with this. This is what he tells us in Revelation 21:22. He says, and the city has no need of the sun. And the city have no need of the sun, neither the moon, to follow, to shine, to give it a glowing aspect. You didn't need the sun or the moon for light. Yeah. As a revived city, that's why we are a city, and we don't need all kinds of interpretation for the light to shine. The dog, because of our own wickedness, our own sin, and our own corruption. Yes. Nobody else but you with your nasty lying ways. I hate liars, man. I don't like liars. I don't like being around liars. Don't lie to me. No, hold on. That's how you said it. I like to tell things just like they happen. I said, look, was it that way? Maybe I don't know. But I know it happened all right. I don't like someone that will lie, and they will lie without conscience of a lie. You are a sick little puppy, and you devils are lying. And say the YHWH HaMashiach did not come the way he did. Look what it says in Revelation. The city. Now how is that if the sun and the moon and all of that brings light? Yah said, let there be light. I want you to transition to understand how that the birth of YHWH, these fools cannot understand. He doesn't intend for these fools to understand. Had no need of the sun, neither the moon, for it to shine fanel, or the glow of the substance of the ambience of luminaries. That's what the word fanel in the Greek is. It says in it, there's a colon there, for the honor, the tefireth, the beauty, the essence. That's why we have to let our light shine. We are some crazy people. And the first thing we present is our darkness of our wickedness and our sin. We let the light shine so that people will know Him. That they will give Him honor. They will give Him the great honor. Yah said, let that be light. That's why when the moon, when Yah created, just say, look at you. And it bowed down to Yah. And the moon said, ma. And the stars began to shout and dance in the midst of the heavens. No one wants this kind of truth and teaching that is so simplistic that a fool will reject it. The city has no need of light. It doesn't need light. We are Yah's city. We don't need the moon. If the moon is not shining over the sun, He is our direction. YHWH, the light that shines. We can do honorable and honest and meet one as a wayfarer. We'll know that there's a true Israelite. Not by someone's old dirty black skin or some white pukey skin. I don't give a damn if you don't like me. Isn't that amazing? There are folks out there said the word damn and they get crazy. Because, oh my. The immaturity of this generation, immaturity. We're going to see the dam there in New York. What's that dam's name? Niagara Falls. You spell it the same way. Yah says He's going to damn this generation. Yah says so He used the word damn. You get offended at Him. You do that because you're so self-righteous. And you say things that are much more corrupt than the word damn. You're so self-wickedly. You want to have the appearance of being right. Yet you're full of every kind of wicked thing there is. Let me move. He says, and the city of Yah, the mother that is above, Yerushalayim, has no need of the sun, neither the moon to fanel or shine in it. For it is the honor of the Tefireth. It is the beauty of Yah. It is our beauty. Our beauty should shine. Not because I've got on some kind of crocodile shoes. It is the beauty of His testimony. Hallelujah. Not because you got on your lesser faith frock woman. No. He says because of the Tefireth of Yah did for Titzo. It is what light. It is the Tefireth, the honor of Yah. And people see that honor and that beauty on your face shines. It is so. I like you. Not you go around here grinning and skinning like a jackass because you're grinning and laughing. That doesn't mean nothing now. That doesn't make you strong or beautiful. I'm just being honest. He said, for Titzo, I want to, it says, for Yah did lighten. Does it say that? This is what the word photizo means. Can I read it from the scholars of the Greek language? I'm not a scholar in nothing. Photizo means this: to instruct. Yah said, let there be light. You see the power of his instructions. His counsel, Musa, his correction. He said, let there be. But this is what the word photizo is: to instruct, to inform, teach, to give understanding to what he said to the creation. I am. You know who I am. I want you to think when you get up in the morning. And then when I feel everything in the expanse, they will know who I am. And this is our ignorance. This is the staple of our ignorance, because we know everything. We're too smart. You can't be taught. I know as much as you. There are men that have said that to me. I said, well, you don't know nothing there, my friend. And they don't even know how to respond to that. I will say to them, you're an ignorant man then. They don't even know how to respond. I've said that to men face to face. They just like, much of a man. I mean, we didn't feel much of a man. And then you to judge yourself against me, you ain't much, because I know I ain't nothing. But then I can look at you and tell you you're not even a man. You're a boy. I know as much as you know. Well, you don't know nothing, fellow. You know as much as I know, you don't know nothing. But I know one thing. You don't know as much as I know. That's a fact. You don't even think like me. That's what the word, my son. That's why it's important that I can break a little bit during the day from working. I've been working all morning in my mind, but I got to stop that. Can't have those dogs coming here killing my shit. I know what to do. I got to stop. And I shot the one the other night. I should have killed it. I didn't want to pick up the guts and all of that. But what he says, for it is the beauty of Yah that lightens. For ditzo, that bring light to it. And this is what I love. For the Lamb, for Yahshua. Does it say that? For the Lamb is the luchnos. No, he is the luchnos. Can I tell you what the word luchnos? It's not because I'm smart to know this, I don't. The word luchnos. You know what it's luchnos? It means this. Are you sure? The prophecies of the Old Testament. Was Yahshua prophesied? Did I begin this teaching with the prophecy of Yeshaya? Was he prophesied? See, that's why it's important for us to have us akim, that we will labor. Even when we're tired, when you think that I'm lazy, I'm your lazy type. I know you don't think that. I'm just saying that, baby gal. You come through my door, I'm there just with my heels. Yeah, you come through there, my heels up on the desk, because I'm tired. But I'm pondering that. I examine words very carefully, nation. I don't read. I examine the word. And see, if I had not examined that, you wouldn't have known that. And that's why these dogs, these devils are there. I will call them dogs. Yes. They are damnable swine. Yahweh said, because they did not receive the love of my Torah, I will send them strong delusions, that they will believe a lie. For what reason? That I may damn them all in my pleasure, that they all might be dead. Don't ever think highly of yourself. You think you're somebody special. You're nothing because you're defecating. You pass down and your breath stinks like anyone else's. Fool up! Stupid fool up! Well, he calls somebody a fool. They are fools. Don't call your brother Raka. You should. Shaul says, he says to the Gurushia, he calls them, you are such fools. Oh, foolish Gurushia, who hath bewitched you? Who hath witched up your corrupt mind with the voodoo hoodoo stuff? You have.
Yeah.
We're going to make this plain. We need to understand things. And if you get nothing else today, get understanding. Wisdom is principle, but get understanding. And these liars that have called themselves leading us, they don't tell us truth. I don't know of no man, but these achim will take time because of the pattern that they've been taught.
Yes.
That would legitimately and honestly litigate everything through Scripture. Am I litigating this through Scripture? Let me move on there. It says, for the Lamb is the luchnos. He is the prophecy where Yah says, let there be light. There will be a prophecy that come and it shall reveal itself in the Yakarith in the latter days.
Yes.
When Yeshua died on that stake, it began the Acharith or the Acharut, and the Acharith is the latter of the days. He began the gates or the end times. His death, from that moment, we began to walk in the end times.
Yes.
And so Yah says, I will get those old Greek scholars, and they think they'll take it, but they're not going to pollute my words. And I'll make them put that word luchnos there, concerning the prophecy of the old time. And when my men that I allow my ruach to fill their mind, they will scrutinize things, and they will dig deeper than the word, and they will tell you, I don't go home to no internet, look for no teaching. I would go and look at these swans and get you something. Get out of here. I've never done that. I've never in all my life, preaching over 40-some years, I've done that. I've never done that. And I won't do it. They all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. Every Hebrew is around the corner, they all say the same thing. But they will call and inflame each other with that N word. To call each other, they call their women the B words. Now, it's an appropriate expression, but I will not call the women that look like my mother that. I won't do that, son. I won't call a woman that look like my wife. Yeah. Turn that one on, son. Yeah, I thought you okay. I will not call her that. They're raping them because of their stupidity. Woman, you're not getting no love, and he got 2 or 3 other women he called his wife.
Yeah.
You're stupid. That's why he knew he could get you, because you were stupid. Stupid as him.
Yes.
When a man sure enough loves a woman, I've loved no woman but that woman. I don't know I love one else. And I'm just being honest. I don't say that to try to promote. But if she died, I will never marry again. I'll marry no woman. If she died today as young and virile as I am, I will marry no woman.
Yeah.
No! You saw the old woman all crazy thinking you got... Stop that foolishness.
Yes.
Live out your days in shalom.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you. I don't care what. In the way of the gates of hell, how fine you think you are, you'll wrinkle you all. Stop the foolishness.
Hallelujah.
You're men as well. You hold on nothing but a bag of bones.
Hallelujah.
I will marry no woman. I will marry no woman.
Hallelujah.
I will marry not a guy. The first one and the only one I will ever know.
Hallelujah.
And I mean that. That's a fact.
Hallelujah.
You get lonely for what? I got all these young ones around here. What am I getting on?
Hallelujah.
Got somebody bring me ice? Bring me water? Hamsa? You don't have to cook no special meals for me? Nothing. I'm all right. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. It's going to be all right, all right. She ain't going nowhere. I'm just... See, I can talk like that because she ain't not. Yeah, ain't not.
Yeah.
That knows I need her. For real. That's real talk.
Hallelujah.
For the Lamb is the light thereof. Then he says, there will never be darkness in the city, and all the nations of them which are delivered shall walk in the light of it. They shall walk. We that are dead, we don't need no light. There won't be no nighttime or nothing. We just going to say, my man, Satan, in that city. Going down to Zion. Oh, I see the Master, my King. Here we going down to Zion. We're going to sing and rejoice. Don't need no other light. He is the man. Oh, he is the one who we just see in the light. He's the reflection of the Most High. And that's what Yah is. Yah is beyond some kind of physical body. He said, the only way I can talk to you and let you know I understand your feeling, I must present myself in the form of the likeness of you. Because I'm too big, I'm too massive, I'm greater than what you see in all the expanse of everything created. And beyond that, that's what I am. And beyond that, the earth is a small, thimbleful to me. It's not even that to Yah. He said, all in the city, you're going to see the greatness of the light. YHWH. HaMashiach. That's what we're going to see. And we're going to look at each other. I wouldn't sell myself for the stupidity of this world. Some stupid pleasure. It's not even pleasure for a moment. I wouldn't sell myself to rob, steal, make money. I could have made money by working a job. I would not want to hoard and be selfish, greedy as a catfish dog. I don't want to live like that. I'm not going to live like that, son. I don't want to steal from the kindness of others that are kind to me and that embrace me and abuse and use them. These dogs are doing that. And they're crying for their attention. I cry for the attention of no man. No one. I just love YisraYah'ale, the true house. The dogs, I got my, as Granny would say, my sword. I got my sword. And I will cut these devils' heads off. That's what you better do. I don't care if it's your mammy, your grandpappy, or your great-great-grandmammy. It makes no difference. I will allow no one to deter me from the walk of this truth. Hallelujah. Quickly in Yochanan, John chapter 3 verse 19. Yah said, let there be light. I'm trying to draw the correlation of this wisdom, of this birth. And these dogs talk so violent against Miriam. I mean, they say things that are just repugnant. They say, I don't want to even repeat what these devils say. How do you get inspiration from them? I would listen to any of them to learn anything. I'll listen to what is being taught today, and I'll take that. I'll refine that. I'll revive that. I will enhance on that. That's all you have to do. You got enough to last you for the next 50 years. As I said to us, there's enough messages and teachings over there that if what he wants to preach or not, in books and catalog, that he can preach for the next 52 years, every Wednesday and every Shabbat. Other preachers, you forget anyway. You forget from when we got the main components. Let's go quickly to Yochanan, John quickly. Is this YHWH that we read that's going to be in the city? Is he the light of Bereshit 1? Let there be light. Let me ask you this then in Yochanan, John 3 verse 19. Y'all talks about the gracis, and this is the condemnation. Yes. Well, I said damn, y'all say this is their damnation. I'm going to damn them all. This is the condemnation. It says that force or light, and force is not the light like we see, but the Greek expression is truth and its knowledge. That's what force is. Yeah. It's not light that we see. It's not the definition of what the most studious scientists that I read from their scholarship to tell you what light is. But this for us, almost like phoro, but for us. And for us, it means that's what he said. That's what it says in the Greek. language. Truth, more than just truth, but the knowledge of it. Yes. You discern what? Others? No, you discern the corruption in your heart. Yes. Grandmother putting that switch on you back in them days, boy, I'm going to speak the truth to you. You're going to be free from here. And she would skin that heart. Yes, she would. You were free too. Until you let that evil surmise and you were free. She didn't whip you, that whooping. It made you cry. You can see the scars of it. Oh my. You were free for that moment until you got fruity again. And this is the condemnation that force. The truth of its knowledge is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than that light. Yes. They love darkness rather than light. Men, come on, what are they going to do in darkness with their sin? This is light here. And they do their sin in light. He said they love darkness, the darkness rather than light. Why? Because your deeds are evil. That's why you hide. You don't want no one to know what you're doing, because your deeds and your actions are sadistically evil. They're corrupt, and you're wicked as all day, as long as the gates of hell are. That's why you like to do things secretive and just share with those that are just as evil as you are. Only a person that is doing evil, they're not going to share anything with someone that is honest. They're going to share with someone just as evil as them, because they know that spirit. They're evil, I'm evil, and that's what they're going to do. Because they know that I will hide your sin, and you will hide mine. I don't want nobody to hide my sin. I want you to tell me I'm a dog. Tell me I'm a dirty dog and I'm full of my own self-righteous wicked. They're not even self-righteous. They love darkness. I didn't say it. They love darkness rather than light. When those Melachim saw Yah say, let there be light, you would believe that they would say, man, I know what light is, but I didn't know what light is. Yah said, let there be light. Because our deeds and our actions are so evil, they are rough. They're full of some of the most insidious corruptions there is. Just like this twisted, damnable lie that YHWH did not come in the fashion that he did. That Yosef is his daddy. These are lying dogs, and damn them all. These are dogs from the gutters of hell. I respect not one of them. I don't care if you don't respect me, because I am a nobody. I mean nothing. This little small crowd here, come on, the few of you that are listening live here, come on now, I can't make no money that way. Hallelujah. Because their deeds were evil. Listen to this nation. Verse 20. For everyone, did that exclude anyone? No. For everyone that does wrong, you do evil, you know it's wrong, you hate, sonne, or mischi, or zonne, despise it with an intestinal intensity of hate. Everyone that does evil hates YHWH, hates the light. You think someone that's out there popping their fingers tonight and tomorrow, they hate seeing the light in the morning? So you know he's not talking about the or. He's talking about they hate the witness of YHWH. And those that love evil, they hate the truth. It is truth of this book that ratifies, establishes everything from the old book. It sets it all in the same motion. Yah doesn't need me to be a scholar to set it in motion. This alone, what I just read, it sets everything according to the mind of Almighty Yah. He says, and everyone, not some. He did not say some, did he? See, we make excuses because we're evil. He said, everyone that does evil, everyone that does ra, everyone that keeps not the commands. If a man says he loves Yah and keeps not his mitzvot, he's a liar, and the truth is not in him. And I don't care if it's your mammy, I don't care if it's your grandmammy, or your sons, your daughters, they hate Yah. And you will justify them because you're just as evil and wicked as they are. Justify no one, I can't even justify me. What I look like trying to justify her. I want my light. I want the witness of YHWH to shine in my house. So when I say something, stop. Just hold up. That's it. You gonna hold up? No more to that. Not gonna respond to that. Then we go to the second degree, whereby, I love you, girl. I love you with everything, with all I got. You're my girl. Come on, people. Y'all do play that way. Give me a kiss. Your breath smells funny, Leah. Now look at that. God, go quit. Yesterday, this morning. We're such phony hypocrites. And just phony fakers too. Let me smell it. No, blow it out. Oh. You know, that's how stupid we is, because we think. I know it's true. Do I get up and brush my teeth and gargle? The next thing I know, I'm off. Bam! What the? How long did I talk to you? Next thing I knew, you was snoring. I roll like that sometimes. I said, baby, why don't you wake me up if I roll like that? There's such phony pretenders. Yes. We will never understand the beauty of love and care because we pretend. Yes. We pretend we care for each other. Like your breath doesn't stink. Get out of here, silly boy. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Can I proceed? Yes. He says, for everyone that does evil hates. Listen. Oh, they despise it. It's intense. There is no love. They detest. They hate the light. Neither come they to the light. And the only way, least their deeds shall be reproved. They don't come to truth because they don't want their deeds to be revealed. They're not coming that way. YHWH is the light. That's why they don't want the light of his birth. Because they can rationalize with their own sin. You can rationalize your sins, my friend. Yeah. You can rationalize that hatred in you. You cannot. But he that does truth, or he that loves, or aletheia, he that does truth. This is quite interesting here. Aletheia. He that does truth, he that operates in truth, desires truth, has a passion for truth. He that does truth is what the book says. Listen to this. He that does truth, aletheia. It means those what is true, one that operates like this. You know what is true in the things that appertains to Yah and the duties unto each other. You may not know the excellence of his iman, but you know what is right to do. Yes. You know if I stole your apple, just say, look, I did steal it. And if I was hungry, I just tell you, I was hungry. I stole your apple, I stole it. You can have the money if you want it. And generally the person will say, now you keep it. So that's what it means. You don't know the way of truth because you haven't walked in it. But that's why Yah put that word there. He did not. He put that word aletheia. That's a pretty name, I like that. Aletheia. He put that name there, aletheia. What is true in things appertain to Yah and the duties of man. That's what it is. You know it's true and right to deal with me honestly and honorable. You deal with each other that way. That's what it means. You don't know the way of truth. You come into Yah, you don't know the way of truth. True. You don't know these lies of these devils out here telling you YHWH was not birthed the way he was born by the power of the living word of Yah. Yeah. It's so stupid because how did he make man? Yes. How did he make man? How did he make woman? He took a rib of man. She was not his wife until he had layouts with her. Yes. That's what Yahshua says. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And that's a fact. Yes. But he that does truth comes to the light. See, if you do the, you know, when we were young and grannies and mommies knew you were headed out of the house, they would always tell you, do the right thing. Just do right by everybody. Yeah, they told you that. In those days, you know, the men of my generation, you didn't find them going to prison. Yeah, that was those that went to prison. But because of a crook system full of lies. But they weren't out there killing each other. They weren't out there doing the thing they're doing now. Just do right. I said, don't care how they do. You do right by everybody. Don't care. Because God is going to make a way for you, baby. You do right. You see. That's what they would tell us. The circle of my friends said we did wrong things, but it was not in any concept of what is being done today. It just wasn't that way. The women were not spotting around with every Tom, Harry, and Johnny. Girls messed up and when they found someone that was going to be gentle with them, they stayed honorable with them. That's just a fact. Today you don't know, come on. Every kind of disease, it has risen to a point that it is a pandemic now. It is the truth, my friend. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Why we come to this truth, everyone does the truth, come to the light. Why? That his deeds may be made manifest, and that they are wrong and young, that they are wrong. So you come to the light of truth that what you do, you know is wrong. That's what YHWH, that's why this corrupt mind that say he was not birthed the way he did. We go back to my TT, I'm going to close from that. I can teach on this one topic for the next, all of the rest of this year and next year too. But there is so much I must teach. I must teach it. Hallelujah. Yeah. And that's a fact. The only reason we don't understand, I want to read this one verse before we go back to Matthew. I want to read it and tell you where it's at. I'll let you find it. Where Yah says, let there be light. The word entrance or enter in the language of our forefather Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, it is bo. YisraYah'ale, B-O, but you can spell it B-O-W. For that to enter in, to that to penetrate, that's what the word bo. That's what it implies. And its same counterpart in the Greek language, it means the same thing. How do you know? Because of ignorance. And I learned from the scholarship of those that are much wiser than me. This is what our Melachim Dawid says. And this is what, when I read that in Bereshit 1:4, when Yah says, let there be light, I said, I see why, Dawid. It says in Tehillim, just listen, Psalms. It says that the entrance, not the that the entrance, the penetrating of your words, it gives light. Psalms 119, 130. It is when the word entered, it gives light. Yes. When Yah says, let there be light, the whole creation spoke. And that's why when his word enters into us, it brings light. When Yah says, let there be light, there was no moon. There was no sunlight, and there were no stars. They're trying to calculate back from creation when the feast days start. These are stupid individuals. There is no date and time of when creation. You can give you some kind of proximity. How do you know? Because I've searched it far and wide. Those with their carbon studies and formulation of the earth, carbon construct of stones and all that, and they can only give you a proximity or an estimation. I'm not concerned about that. I know that when the word enters in, it creates the light. And that's all that matters to me. And they want to show you that they got this this proponent of scholarship, and they're smart and they're bright. They're not smart.
Yeah.
They're not knowledgeable. Because you go to every street corner in New York and ladder, those that call themselves Hebrew Israelites, they all saying the same thing. And they have such vile, reprehensible language toward each other. Now I would tell you, whoever you are, you're a wicked man. But I will not do you like that. I will not call you that. I will not disregard you like that. They blame every damn thing on the woman. That's the next teaching. These cowards on every corner call themselves Hebrew Israelite. The women haven't raised their sons. You jackass of a, not even a human. Where were you? You put the baby in her and you got 4 over here. And they're on the corners spewing that, calling the women every kind of dirty name. That's a coward of a jackass. That's not even a human. You got 4 babies out there, you don't work, you play the video games all day, jackass, on the cell phone. You're not hustling. And you tell me it's the woman because when I want to get my baby, what, once in every 6 months, buy him a pair of Nike tennis shoes and think you've done the job of a man, you little boy. You little boy. That's one thing I've never played with. Those who, them and their wife, what they were separated, you know, you go, I don't care, I don't want the monies here. You're going to send this much. That's what you're going to send. I don't even want her to say that old preacher, not that I care. I don't want them to say that he says he knows, yeah, this is the way he does me. Nah, that's more important to me than a dollar bill. That's more important to me than a dollar bill. And there's not been one man that lived here with us. Not one. I don't have to send but $50, you go send $100 a week. But preach out. No, I don't want you here there. Go find you somewhere else to live. You're not going to live here with us. What do you $50 can do for a child? And these are the same jackleg liars. We're Hebrew Israelites. Look at that hoeing. That's so crude and rude. What woman has been through the things that a woman of your hue, woman? Why would you even disrespect her? There was a song back in the days, yeah, I will talk about it, by Curtis Mayfield. Curtis Mayfield always sang songs of country. He talks about high yellow gal. She thought she was. He talks about the people that are blacker than blue. He said, you the people that are blacker than blue. And then he talks about sophisticated high yellow gal because she thought because she was high yellow, she had something. No things will impact you with high yellow gal. She ain't going nowhere. She's still high yellow gal. Silly. When we got that black skin, that's beautiful. Don't hate that. Hallelujah. So black. Now you're black and proud. You just got black, beautiful skin. Nose a little buttery. That's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Women are not doing the job, but where are these little effeminate boys that have put the babies in you? And they belong into every kind of camp. They do. And they get on the corner and denigrate the women that I don't even know why people even talk to those fools out there. She may say something because they're looking at her with the pants on. Well, why in the hell are you looking at her with the pants on? It must have been something to attract your eyes to her butt out. Chirac said, when you see a woman with a fine shape, don't turn your head, run from her. Don't look at her.
Yes.
The Torah warns us of that.
Yes.
It's run from that. Flee your youthful lust. And they're blaming the woman out here. The woman of my mother. I know my mother did wrong things. She did it out of desperation. She didn't know. And her mother didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't know what love was. She didn't know what comfort was. She didn't know the spirit of a man in the street. I was telling my friend in the back the other day we were working, I said, of all the people, I said to him, I don't blame her mother not wanting me to marry her. I don't blame her. But she didn't know what the agony in my heart. But her grandmother, she said, marry him. That old woman said, you married it. She gave, we didn't have furniture. She gave us her furniture. She said, you married him. That's what she said. Her grandmother. That's fine. I want to finish this today. I don't have much more. Hallelujah. It's the entrance of Yah's word, Psalms 119, 130. Of Yah's words give light. There's a semicolon to let us know there's a clause that's independently. It gives below, it gives understanding to the petty, to the simple. You see how simple we are? We're silly. The word petit means we're silly, we're juvenile, we act like little kids.
Yes.
We stupid. When that word enter into you, it will give you, because it's almost like the word petty, but it's petit, petit, petit. It gives understanding to the petty, the simple-minded one who thinks that I'm somebody, you're nothing. Fool.
Yeah.
You're going to die and the skin worm's going to eat you. You're going to rot like a rotten dog. Won't be no different. You're going to stink. And that's just a fact.
Yeah.
The same thing comes out of me, coming out of you. Same set of corruption. I've never smelt that smell, but I've heard people say, my brother from Vietnam, he says, nothing like it before. You don't want, you will never forget it. I've heard police officers say, you will never find a corpse 5 or 6 days old. What about the putrid of that flesh and the skin worm and the flies are laying maggots by the tens of thousands? I know we get scratchy on that because it just shows you what kind of mess that's in us. You're going to die and you're going to rot. Just like a dog rot, you can rot. That's a fact. You must deal with those realities. It's the entrance of Yah's word that even though I am a petty, it will, one that is petty and simple, it gives understanding to the petty. Those that are stupid think they know everything. The word petty means that, well, you know, you hear them, well, I'm open-minded. You are stupid. We can agree to disagree. No, I disagree with you, buddy. And I'm not going to agree with your lies. I'm not going to give you a challenge for your lies. No, I disagree with you. You're flat out wrong. But we can't agree to disagree. No. You're a coward. That's why you talk like that. Agree with someone to disagree. Undoubtedly, you got holes in your thinking and your logic. Let's get back. Right. They are read in verse 19 of chapter 1 concerning how Yosef wanted to put her away privately and secretively. Devarim 22, the whole chapter, but beginning at verse 13 to verse 26 to verse 30 gives us the criteria of a man putting away his wife. That's what gives us that criteria. Nothing else gives us that criteria but Devarim. But I want to drop down to verse 24. I read part of that last week in Dawid concerning how could he put her away when there was no seal of their oneness. All right? It says this in Matthew 1:24. It says, then Yosef, he being raised, he rose up, raised from his sleep. It says he did. Poetio. He did. He did. This is what it all must boil down to. He did as the heavenly Melach of Yah had bidden him. He told him to take her. And he took to him his wife. How could she be his wife? The criteria of a wife. The man must know. Even Yeshua says, with Hava, And when he went into her, she became his wife. He made her to be his helpmeet, his Azza, the one that strengthens and help him. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
There's nothing more beautiful than a wife, man.
Yeah.
You don't need but one.
Yes.
That's all y'all command you to have. We all were raised in situations that were not the most beneficial to us. I mean, broken home, broken marriages, but that's all right. You didn't have no understanding of that. And now you got to understand, you stay with him.
Yeah.
Now, woman, don't act like a total fool. Man, you learn how to love her. Woman, obey. Obey. Be mindful of your husband. And he commands you something that is of a greater depth, husband, to love your wife as YHWH loved us, and that he died for it.
Yeah.
The you little jack noses out down the corners denigrating every woman. You think your responsibility is greater. You will die to your stupid ways. You will die because you're childish. And then until you get mad, then get on mad, fool. Woman, you obey him. He's not going to tell you to go jump off a tower in Manhattan, swim the channels of the river. No man's going to put you out the prostitute woman, not a man. He commands you to love her. You don't to your will. You don't. You don't treat her like she's a pile of whole dung and treat her as though she's inferior. You're the inferior one. That's why you do that. It's not your place. I know my place. I love it. I know what I stand on. I don't have to be abusive. Don't do that. I said, sure, one day, well, I never really had to put that on you. Maybe I shouldn't have. The old saying, the commercial would be when Eve Hutton talks, everybody, even the bull, would get quiet. Papa Daddy talks. I said, shh, 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 shh. No, I ain't no explanation. Let me finish. And if I'm wrong, I will tell you I was wrong. I did it wrong. I'll make up. I make up too. I know how our minds, but that's not what I'm saying. I make up for my mind. Hallelujah. Right. Verse 24, and Yosef being raised, he did. Asa, he performed the function that the messenger of Yah commanded. He did. He accomplished. In every aspect, he did as the heavenly messenger of Almighty Yahweh had been him, and he took to him his wife. How can she be a wife when there is no relationship? How can she be a wife unless she's proven to be the wife? Unless the layouts had taken place and the seal of her Bethula was presented to her parents. That's what sealed the marriage. Because he could have had her killed and put away according to Devarim, and he took her. It takes a yard. That's why, as a man, I've got great inspiration from men in the sense that marry a woman with children and you raise them. That's a man, that to me. That's a real man. I got the same for a woman that take on with the attitudes and the disposition, because the mama left her dad and she takes on that man and she raised his children. That old man, That thing, I don't know how I stumbled upon that up there. His wife, they've been married 70-some years. 51 was it, 50-some years? He walked 5 miles every day to the hospital to see his wife. That kind of stuff bothered me. Of all the things that that man said, he said she loved me and she loved me. He said she raised all my children. That's man.
Yeah.
You would have been. She done. She raised all of my children. They love her to death. Can you imagine dealing with that attitude? See, that's what the spirit of a mother does. I don't give a damn if he got children or something. Her beauty and her love will make the children love her.
True. Hallelujah.
She's cold as cat's dung. Children ain't gonna love her. But that what I saw, I watched that a couple of times because I do this when I see it. She raised all my children. I brought them here. She loved them. Because she could not have children. There are times I've thought about that child we have for even I. University of South Carolina. There are times I thought of it because they match our features up. Young girl I got pregnant by one of the professors. That agency, because I worked for IBM, it was a very reputable agency. They match almost a genetic looking every day. And we had to go to class. We went to all those classes. And it was just a little. I'm older now, but matter of fact, I was thinking the other day about it. There's nothing like a mother's love. Nothing. And they love right. Because she has been taught by the seniors how to love. That's why he tells you to obey him. And your senior mothers teach you how to love a man. Because you have proven yourself of your value. Woman, how the hell you know how to love a man when you never loved a man? You haven't. He tells you to obey. Then you love them. So he tells you, all the women, to teach them how to love their husband. That's what the older women do. Teach them how to love the husband. That's fact. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I want to finish this. I'm hungry, as John Jones says. Let me look at this quickly here in the TV. It says here that these words kind of intrigue me. And he took him his wife. Let's go quickly to Exodus. We're going back to Matthew 125. I want to read 2 verses. One in Exodus. Exodus 4:20. It says, and Moshe took his wife. Exodus 4:20, Shimon. He took his wife and his sons, and he set them upon an ass, and returned to the land of Mitzrayim, and Moshe took the rod of Yah in his hand. I was interested in that part where he took his wife. And it says here, and he took him, his wife. That's what it says in. But we know that this was a wife, she had children from Moshe. And he took his wife. So don't tell me that in order for her to be his wife, the pattern is here. Moshe had to develop that by the course that Yah commands a man to proceed in order to produce birth. It is Ishah. So he took his wife, but it says he also, then he took him, his wife. She's not your wife. Yah says he took his wife. because she was his wife. Well, what about the procedure? It was done in the heavens. The procedure was already done. Everything was laid out. It was already done. It was finished. And that was his wife. Yesha, quickly. Yesha. Yesha, chapter 13, verse 25. Avram. It says in Yesha 13:25, and Avram arose and he took his wife Sarai and all that belonged to him and all that were born to him in the house and the nephesh of them which they had made in Haran, and they came out to go into the land of Canaan. God, you see the verbiage there? He took his wife. Both of these, Avram and even Moshe, they had children by their wife. This woman had no child by Joseph. He had never touched this woman. She was found with child. And the only way he knew that is that the Melach of Yah came and said, she's already with child. He just said she was with child. She was with child. The woman that you're about to marry, is with child. And the only way that he could rise above that, he went back to the beginning of the teaching. And Yah said, let there be light. And he understood this light and this testimony that would come. And that the Nabi, the prophets had talked about this one, that would come and to Yosha, or to save and deliver his nation, his people, YisraYah'ale. And he knew that Yah could not lie. And he couldn't do wrong. And he took her to be his wife. That's what he said. And he took his possession. His wife. Can you imagine that? Someone tells you that the woman you're about to take, she's with the baby. Only Yah can. I don't care if the man is saved or unsaved. It takes something to develop in that man. For you women, you love your man. Took you and raised your young. That's why that man loved that woman, because that woman raised his children. He said, and they all turned out to be, quote, good, unquote. She raised. She was dying in the coma. And he went every day to see that woman. Fit old man, too. First time he said, I saw her, I knew I wanted to marry her. She said, she wasn't about no playing. I ain't about no playing. You real or you ain't not real? You real? Let's, okay. We'll do it the right way. But TTI 125, quickly. I got enough time to finish. This is what it says here. It used the word ginosko. But TTI 125, ginosko. And he knew, yada, ginosko. And this is the element of the word ginosko. Can I read this? I want us to understand, because I don't know. I didn't know. It says ginosko is the Hebrew idiom for the relationship of a man and woman, between a man and a woman. But he used another word, but that's what it is in India. That's what ginosko is. He ginosko. He knew, and he knew her not. And so you jackasses that say that Yosef was a father, you're flat a liar. He never called Miriam mama, and he never called Yosef father. Just like what he has birthed in our hearts here, in our I am here saints, YisraYah'ale. It is his truth, it's the light and the witness, the testimony of Yahshua. And it's all going to come to fruition when we see him. Why? Because we're going to be like him.
Yeah.
He did not know her, he did not touch her, he did not feel on her, he knew her not. Knew her not until afterwards. Until afterwards. She had brought forth, it did not say his son, her firstborn. He didn't even touch her. He didn't kiss her. He did nothing. He honored her because he wanted to see this prophecy that he had been taught, Yeshaya and the messengers of old. He knew that it was a special election.
Hallelujah.
That Yah entrusted him. Yah trusted him that he would not do it wrong and be unkind by her. He trusted him. Until she brought forth her firstborn son, and she called his name Yeshua. Let me see, I like that. That Yah is with us. The strength of the Most High, the Creator, is with us. That's what it is, YisraYah'ale. He didn't know her. He had not touched her. He did not frolic with her. How do you explain that? Explain to me what light is. Explain me the substance of the sun. This is how ignorant we is. And yet we want to present ourselves as someone that is knowledgeable, smart, and we know a lot of things. We're ignorant. And we think that we have acquired or ascertained a certain level of things. We want to share that with everyone, and your life doesn't represent what you're trying to share with everyone. Our lives must represent what we're trying to convey to someone.
Hallelujah.
Our lives must represent that.
Yes.
You can't tell them about how to do right when you're not doing right. He didn't know the woman. He didn't know her. Can you imagine the doubts and the confrontations of hell? You think that Hushok Thunder tried to jack him up? Demonic force of darkness? You think they didn't play on his mind? He knew the pattern of Job, and this man that persevered through all of the challenges of hell, even his friends, he had no friends. He goes to a land where he's not known, among the people he did not know. He had no support. He had no daddy to call on. He had no mama to say, what do I do? He had only that which was planted in him. Because he had a righteous daddy and a righteous mama that took him to the order of Yah's service, and they would go and receive the blessings of the Kohen. That's what he did. That's what we need.
Hallelujah.
And that's just the fact of the matter. Hallelujah. He knew her not. In order for me to understand that, I must examine Torah. Torah teaches me, see, in that same expression, and he knew her not. You can say what you want to, but we must identify Torah construct by what is already there. We must. We cannot by our own intelligence comprise what the Torah means. We cannot, nation. We can tell you what light is because we know what it is. Yah said, let there be light. I don't even know what. I know he used the word in the language that we go to. He said, let there be light. Let there be light. Let my presence, let the light of YHWH just illuminate over everything I created. It was by him and through him.
Hallelujah.
What father has a son, he doesn't want to teach his son everything he knows? Come on now. You want to teach him how to hunt and all those kinds of things. So in order for me to understand he knew her not, I had to do some forensic examination. And it took me back here to Bereshit, Genesis. This is when Yehuda, when he knew what he had done with his sons concerning Tamar, this one that was regal and tall like a palm tree, he knew what he did was wrong. And so Yah suffered her to show him, reveal to him the vileness of his own nature, his lust. It says this after he did his dirty deed, but in Bereshit 38:26, one verse I want to read. This why I know that it says, and he knew her not until she brought forth her firstborn. It says in Bereshit 38, one verse, And Yahuwah acknowledged them. He knew he was wrong. I'm wrong. We must acknowledge our wrong and our sin. We can't cover it. We can't flirt with it. You're wrong. I'm wrong.
Hallelujah.
And said, she has been more subdued. She has proved herself to be more righteous, because that whore, she's going to die for what she died. She has proven herself to be more righteous than I, because that what I gave her not to YHWH, my son, he says this, and I knew her not, I knew her again no more. I never touched her. I didn't touch her. But he knew her before she revealed his wicked ways. That's why I know that for you to say that you're safe, you dirty dogs out of the birth of hell, you coward dogs, that's what you are. He did not know her until she brought forth. And when Tamar brought forth Yahuwah's first son of him by her, he knew her no more. He never touched her. In order for her to bring forth a seed unto him, he had to know her. So Torah balances up, and it opens. We are lazy. We don't like to research. We don't have time for y'all, but we got time for television all damn day. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I'm just straight up with you.
Yes.
I'm dishonest with us. That doesn't make me a superior man, better person. But I'm straight up with me. It begins with me. That's what it begins. I know what it's going to take for us to make it in. And if the righteous Sadiq, those that have the very essence of Yah in them, if they scarcely make it, where shall the wicked, the unrighteous dogs, birth of hell, where shall they appear? Well, I don't believe in no hell. I know you don't, because it's already in you. You're full of hell. You know you're full of hell when you don't have compassion for YisraYah'ale. That's fact. That's fact. But you know, there were sons that left their fathers and mothers, and they journeyed forth to a distance, and they had to walk or take the caravan like Luke, and they didn't see them for many. They died. Some never made it back, just like they were in America. You living in Charlotte and your mama living in South Carolina, you ain't not coming this way unless she sends for you. You ain't got the money. Yeah, you ain't not got the money. And that's just a fact. There are folks that have left other countries, they don't, their relatives, they've been here and they've never been back. There are those that have left their country illegally and they've never gone back to their country, because they know if they go back, they will not get in again. There's a sister up there and I will almost make only. She listening today. She lives in Canada. She's from Jamaica. And she said, "Oh, Pastor Roberts, I would so love to come to see you. You just come for feast day. I would just so love to come. But you don't have to tell me. I know Canada is one nation that they're much more lenient than this plague we got here. That if they catch you, you're going back. And they're shipping them back to the island as well. Don't think that they're just kicking out the Mexicans, all right? And I know why she can't come. I never asked her. I know why she can't come. Because if she comes down here and she gets caught, she's going to be in trouble. And they would do things just to make a point. She has a son there, and birthed a son in Canada. How does she go back and know anyone? She lives quite well, not extremely well. Lived in an upscale place and all. She may have to go back there. When I was in Jamaica, those young gals said, I remember that one that she was sitting down on the curb, washing her clothes. My heart was just overtaken. I said to the shepherd, take me down there. He said, oh, you don't want to go down there. They will eat the skin off of your bones. Well, if you all did them right, they won't eat the skin off your bones. You relegate them to something. I say, man, look, I'm paying you, buddy. You take me down there. I don't want to go see, no, I don't want to go see. He had taken us to this historical house. It was a mansion in Jamaica. Big old house, high ceilings, and cool, and that was hot outside. The design and the ceiling fan, he said, oh, brother, look at this thing. I say, and then when I looked at it, it was nothing but pure poverty down there. I say, no, that's where I want to go. Oh, you don't want to go there, man. They will take the skin off. They will eat the skin off of your bones, man. They will eat your life down there. I mean, that's where I want to go. I know them people. Take me down there. Oh, man, you don't want to go. I say, my friend, look, I'm paying you for half a day. You take me where I want to go. And there's another place I want to go right there. Take me down there. And I could see as I drove by that young woman, I'm looking in her eyes. You can see the heartache, the pain, the agony, of the difficulties of life. I know she had a child, maybe two, and they were not even huts. And you could see that, and our eyes just caught each other like that. I just looked at her. I looked at her. My heart was so, I can't go there and feed everyone. I didn't have enough. I had to save it. My change to go there. I saved up enough money by saving all the nickels and dimes and quarters, by just saving them all during the year. And we would save at least $1,000 or so every year. You save all the nickels and dimes. That's how it went. I go in the store, $1, 1 cent. Dollar, take the 99 cents, put that in the big piggy bank. That's how I. Oh wait, $2, 2 cents. No, I don't have no 2 cents on me. I want the 98 cents to save that. And I was amazed at how much I saved. Let me finish up here. Here in, hallelujah. Here in Judges. Jump to Judges quickly. This is Yipta, the one that vowed to you. Yipta. Look what it says. Judges 11:39. Yipta. It says, and it came to pass at the end of 2 months, she returned back to her father, because you have granted me and given me unto the offering of Yah my life totally unto Yah. Yah doesn't take, and he's never taken a human offering. All right, but this is the legit of this interaction. He said, who did with you according to the vow which he had vowed? And it says this, and she knew. See, that's what it's all about. She knew no man. Yes. And it was a statute among YisraYah'ale. Just like she knew no man. Miriam knew no man. The child did not come by Yosef. And these dogs use some of the most erroneous terminology when they talk about that. It is just a wicked thing, what they do. Let me read this. You that have the book of Jubilees, I want to read this from Jubilees here. Jubilees chapter 3. I want to read this quickly. How about that? Yeah. Jubilees, and we're going to close. This is how one becomes a spouse of one another. And I want to show us the dialogue between Jubilees and Bereshit, to make sure that it is accurate. All right? It says in Jubilees chapter 3 verse 4, and Yah said to us, it is not told that the man should be alone. Let's make a helpmeet for him. That's what it says. Yeah. Let's make him one that will help him meet the criteria of being a man. That's what as one would say, quote, a good wife, unquote. She'll make you mad. Yeah. She is the beauty of any man's strength. Wives, yes, that's your problem. You don't know. A man has no strength of beauty but by you. Right. You're the beauty of his strength. Yeah. You are the electrifying components of his strength. Yes. You are. That's why it behooves you to learn how to love him and to obey him. Yeah. And by you obeying him, his faithfulness to Yah, it will grow exponentially. I know there's some fruitcakes out there, and you marry him. But do what Yah says, all right? Yeah. If it's shalom to be with a man, stay with him. You picked that one. You wanted that one because you wanted a husband, right? All right, stay with him. You leave that one, you go to another one, it's going to be worse than that, all right? You have to learn how to love. You got to learn how to grow on each other.
Yes.
That's what he said. But also, I'm going to move it. I'll tell you where to look and to find the compatible verses of this. Also in Yeshua chapter 1 verse 3. Yeshua 1 and 3. And Yah said, it is not tough for man to be alone. I will make unto you a helpmeet. So we have two witnesses, don't we?
Yes.
There are witnesses here. Then back to Jubilees in verse 5. It says, and Yah our sovereign master caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adon, and he slept. And he took the woman, one rib from among his selah, from among his structure. That's what selah is. She's structured like a man. She has the beauty that represents the man's strength. She is the strength of the man. And the rib was the origin of the woman from amongst his rib. And Yah built up the flesh instead. And he built the woman. Now if you can believe that, if you believe that he takes a rib from a man from the sleep, but you can't believe that Yahshua was born, you are stupid.
Yes.
You are beyond stupidity. You are ignorant. You are foolish. You are a coward dog.
Yes.
Also in Genesis 2:22, it says, and the rib which Yah had taken from Adon, he made a woman. Listen now. And he brought her to Adon. He brought her to. Now that's what the word smooth. When he brought her, he brought her, and he knew her. He brought. That's. I know that we're so smart. We know what every word means, but we don't, nation. And in the Hebraic tongue, that's what that word there implies. To enter in. And he entered in, it says, and he brought her to Adam. He brought her. She entered in. The man entered into her. Back to Jubilees 3 and 6. And he awakened Adam out of a deep sleep. This is just the chronologue of the process. And he awakened, he rose up on the sixth day, and he brought to him, and it says what? He knew her. In Jubilees chapter 3 verse 6, it says that he knew her. Yes. You that have that, does it say that? And he knew her, and he knew her, and he knew her, and he knew her. That's why he brought, he brought, and he knew her, and said to her, see, this is the only time that a woman is a man's wife. That's why these dogs out here like the Bishop Downs of then Tennessee, this dirty dog. Well, that's a marriage you go into a woman, but there was ceremonial process in YisraYah'ale because a marriage was a special thing. You understand? Not these cats writing out a piece of paper and someone say you're married. It had a legal process to it. It had a legal process to it. And these cats who call themselves married, these women, and they lead them, get someone younger or whatever. An old fool like that would be an old lustful dog all of his life. He's not going to let you out deal with it. He will be a lustful old dog all of his life. He will be a lustful old dog and die that way, lusting like a dog. Hallelujah. Yeah. He brought her to him, and he knew her, and said, you have that, yes. What are those next three words? Those next three words. Does it say this is now?
This is now.
Does it say this is now?
This is now.
Does it say this is now?
This is now.
Not before. He knew her, and it said this is now, bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh. And then he called her his wife. Yes. Then he called her, this is my wife, when he knew her. Yes. When he knew her. So how could Yosef call Miriam his wife when he didn't know her? He had to know her in order to make that bodacious statement. And when he knew her, then she was his wife. And he said all that because she was taken from her husband. She was made. And that's what a wife is. She's made from a husbandman. The beauty of his strength, she beautifies and it strengthens her. He loves her, and she learns by the process of that love and the tenderness and the care and the emotional attachments to that. She learns how to love him because she has watched the elders of the village, and that's what they do. You can't teach nobody about love. Fool, when you don't even know how to love nobody.
Yeah.
Stop that mess. You might as well love me. You might as well, because this is the real deal. This is the real deal. This is not some toy store junk that you get when you listen to the... That's why you go so many different places. It says in Bereshit, I want to fulfill this what was said in Jubilees 3 and 6. It says in Bereshit 2:22, and the rib which Yah had taken from Adam, he made a woman. See, he just made a woman. It did not say he made his wife. It said he made an Isha and bow and brought her to him. See, that one little word brought that we will not pay attention to, that's the catalyst word all. He entered. Bow. Bow. He entered. And Adam said, this is not bone of my bone. This is flesh of my flesh. And she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of the ish man. She was taken out of man. Me, the riches of God upon you. You that have joined us today and have listened to this series, I'm going to stop here at not the conclusion of anything, because you can never conclude any teachings of Yah. You just stop for the moment, all right? And I'm going to stop here because there are so many things that we need to do. We're going to have a wonderful service next week, singing and fellowshipping and hearing from others beside me. I get tired. There were times that I could go 2 or 3 months at a time without stopping. But I don't want to do it. I didn't want to preach. Teach last Wednesday, and somebody, he sure says I came to me, was it? I said, baby, I don't want to put him on the spot like that. I know he would have been ready, but I didn't want she says I came to me. Nah. I wanted to call it off. I didn't feel like I was talking. That's just honest. And so when I recall the words that I spoken to my mind, then I said, okay, I want to do something like that. At least a few days notice. And that's time. That's sometimes all he gets. A few days notice. I'd like to give him a week or 2 notice. Everyone knows. So everybody got to prepare themselves. So, encouraged nation, I am. You that have joined us, do send your tithes and offerings here. You have nowhere to fellowship it here. And help us sustain this. And you that do them, you come visit and things like that. You enjoy the wonderful food here. We have a wonderful meal today in our community here. You just enjoy the ambience of our community. I enjoy it. I don't care how you feel. Hallelujah. I'd rather see here than be living in D.C. in a rat hole. Los Angeles is one of the most horrific places there. Drugs and skid row, about the tens of thousands, sleeping in tents and filthy. It is the most displaced people. It looks like Calcutta, India. Some old creepy city where you rats calling and you got to have bars on your women. Wonder that ain't living, silly person. That's stupid. I remember we went down to Bynum's mother's house. You were in prison because that woman had bars on bars. That's not living. I recall many years ago that family up there in Detroit, so barred down, locked down, the fire started burning every last one of them up. Killed them all. Daddy, mama, the little children. You call that living? Give me a brush arbor in the woods. I live there. And I'll make it work for you too. I can build a house. I can build a log cabin. You don't think I can? Don't try me, baby girl. Thinking about building one right over there in Sukkah Village. I want to. You don't think I can? It's not going to be no 1,600 square. But we can make it 12 by 12. We can live in that. There's nothing wrong with that. If we got to live in the brush arbor, we ain't got nothing on me. We ain't not got nothing. So you don't need no fancy Leslie frocks. We bathing in the creek, baby girl. I'll make it right for you. I'll buy a bucket. You can shower. Nobody but you and me. You get right. I'll get soap. That I will get. I wouldn't live in these rat holes. They're not even living. The rat holes. The ones that can afford to get out from that, they get out. I'm living well. Don't give me those lies. The folks, poor people of out here not living well in New York. 2 or 3 families in one little 1,100 square foot place. They sleeping in the bathroom, on the floor, under the table. That's fact. That place where they filmed the Cosby or not, they didn't film it there. They call it brownstone. And all that, they call it brownstone because basically all the buildings were like basically brown. It has become so gentrified that one little 1,100 square foot apartment, a condo to buy, you know what you go kick out on that? That's minimum $1 million. You're not getting. I ain't talking about shack by as big as my shack. I remember as a young student back in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have internet like this, you know. But I was a student of things that would I would want to understand. Back then, it would cost you. I remember it was on. What was that on? One of the news hours. What did they used to come on Sunday? 60 Minutes. They were talking to this young bumpy professional. He sold stock at the New York, the market there, the Dow. He was making $300,000 a year. He was looking for a condo and a place to buy. He said, I can't afford it, $300 grand a year. And that was when just 1 foot of space in New York. You know what a square foot is? Those tiles on the floor, for them to build that. That was like $1,027. That's what it costs. New York cannot have demolition like they do in South Carolina. They want to blow the building, they set the dynamo on that, they blow it. You can't do that in New York. The unions don't let you do it. You gotta tear it down brick by brick, stone by stone. Because you cannot destroy the integrity of the building next door. Here, they drop them down and they crumble. That's why a lot of people go to New Jersey, but people don't like New Jersey because it's a cheesy place, it's a cheesy state. They don't even. And you will have in that same place there to rent in that place now. They try what they call rent control. But you have 4 or 5 families living in a 1-bedroom house. I know it's a fact. If you all, they live, it was brownstone. That's what the Cosby, this Bumpy and his wife, lawyer and doctor. In those same places there, the urbanization, the gentrification. You can't even rent up there. That cousin of mine, when he came to visit, he lives in a little shack. He pays $1,600 a month, but it's government system. It's government, he works 2 jobs. He goes to work, he gets off that job. By the time he got a vehicle now, he catches the train and the buses. He goes to work, he gets off of that job. And once he gets off that job, he catches the train, he goes to his other job. And once he gets off of that job, he comes home. He said, I get home every night about 1 in the morning, 12, and I eat. You call that living? Give me a hoe and a shovel and I go down to the pond, I'll catch some fish, I get some fish out there. I dig me a hole and just put something in it. I'll get some food. What a tremendous suppression that you gotta worry about paying rent. Mr. Condemnation, when he said, I want that electric beer. And people like to put on fronts as though they're doing well. They broke us a maggot. Broke us maggot stone. You couldn't give me that. I said to you the other day, we were in Charlotte, I said, baby, you couldn't give me a condo. Yeah, I don't want to. I want to get down that road when I get past Monroe. I get out there in the country when I see that, what's that, that mallow, what's that mallow on the right-hand side coming down 601? They're growing quite a bit of that around here. They were experimenting with it years back. They're growing a lot of mallow. And then when I see that mallow, that big old mallow field, I say, I like that. I get on down by the fire station, I come up that hill, so I know exactly how long it's going to take me to get from every point. I know. How do I know that? Because I measured the distance everywhere from here to Monroe. I know how long it takes me to get from here to there. I know how long it takes me to get from here to there. I do it all the time. I know exactly how long it takes me to get from right there when you go down the hill, come on the fire station on the right. I know exactly how long it takes me to get. I know exactly. Maybe we'll be home in. Because I measure everything. I know how long it takes me to get from Walmart when you turn up on 601. Even every light catches me. Very seldom every light is going to catch me. And I know how long it takes me to get from there with no light because I do it all the time. I know how many cars pass through that intersection right now with Lowe's at certain times of the day. Why? Because I've sat there and counted them. I know exactly. We'll see how many. Wow. So that's how I know. I know exactly how long. You boys kicked out. You only want me to catch you. Did y'all go back the back way? You all kicked out, boy. You all kicked out yesterday. You all. I said, no, they weren't telling me to get you. I said, who's trying to go step out? They don't want me to catch you. They didn't want me to catch you. After light, he went through the last. Oh my, I won't catch him. And I was happy to catch you too. And I saw, see, that's them up there. I caught up with the truck, but it was a big dump truck. I knew it. I said, oh, I got it. And then I thought, I said, he stepped on that. They stepped on that. They rolled. They didn't want me to catch them. Because y'all didn't discuss that like that. That wasn't your intent. You don't have to answer me now. All right. I was trying to catch you on. I really wasn't. I'd never seen him. When you all turned there, that light out of Lowe's, I didn't see you no more. Did you all catch the light at the bottom of the hill by Chicken Wayne place? You all caught that one? Oh, you all caught. So how many, did any light catch you all? No, that's how you got it. And I said they had to catch him in light and get to the light. Because I sure was trying to catch you. May God meet you. May God, let's stand to our feet. Hallelujah. Turn toward YHWH. We're going to barak. And all things we do barak are about for the excellence of your truth, for deliverance from every corrupt thing in you. Touch your nation and heal us all. We need it, above all people. I need it. I need your strength. And for the assurance of YHWH, our great King of delight. Bless Yeshua and those that join us today for the live broadcast. And bless those that are sitting in the presence here of your ambience. Bless your nation, your people, those that are poor, and those that have not food and raiment. Give them food and raiment. This is what we request of you, our Allah. In the blessed name of the only assurance, that is the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. With our voices we shout hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There's only one way, YisraYah'ale, to shalom, emunah, ahava. That's in Yeshua HaMashiach. So show us your way, Yahweh. Show us your way, Yahweh, that we may walk with you. Show us, Abba. Show us your way, Yahweh. We have to find you. Oh, lift up your voice. Oh, the cry of our land to Yada you know, to walk in the way of Torah, stronger each day. Show us your way. Oh, show us your way. With one voice, YisraYah'ale.